Hey, welcome back to Leo season. Do you know what happened while you were kind of getting ready to go to bed last night? The sun moved into Leo. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! Let's talk about some Leo characteristics. That's one of the fun things that we can do. And there's also a big grand trine. Oh, keep the applause rolling in your head because there's a big grand trine that will just be for today, but that is between Mars and Jupiter. We've been mentioning that over the last couple of days, and now we throw the moon into the mix on that. In fact, the moon at about noontime or thereabouts is exactly trine Jupiter. So this is going to be a good morning and a good afternoon. The ramp up in the morning, really extra good. So if you've got something that could use a little bit of good juice, well, the universe is sitting right there with you because you've got Mars on one side and the moon on the other, baby, and Jupiter at the point of it. And that will be some great juice for this Tuesday. Got some other happy news, too, because... yeah, I know the moon is square Saturn. I know. I see it. I got it. It's right there. But you know what? Just intend around that, you know? The moon and Saturn through a square like this, if you intend it properly, could actually help reveal some things that you could kind of throw over to the Jupiter-Mars thing and say, hey, would you guys, let's just work on this area. Over the last couple of days, I came across a big area in my life that I just got real clear on. So this whole thing, what we've been talking about, the clarity of Neptune, favorable to the big three, that clarity. This, the moon, with this aspect to Saturn, but look, I mean, if you're playing the game, if you're in there working and doing the work, I think these guys will support you more so. I mean, I don't know how that will show up for you, but I think that's a possibility. But yes, the moon is square Saturn. Okay, let's talk about Leo. Because when the sun goes into a new sign, I like to just talk about that a little bit. It helps lock that sign in because we're going to be living with it for the next month predominantly. It will be affecting our own sun, so we will shine with that kind of a little bit of oversight, or just that energy is with us. It's out there in the universe, so we might as well be aware of it. So Leo sun, what does that entail? Well, it's a fire sign, obviously, along with, what are the other fire signs? Can you list them? Aries, Sagittarius. Yes. And just think of the Leos and the Sages and the Aries that you know, and how they display, or how their sun fire characteristics are displayed. So for the Leo, being ruled by the sun, they want to be out there shining. Or, you know, how we've talked about in astrology, there are opposites. A Leo might be a little bit timid of that spotlight. They might not want the sun shining on them. They could be taking the opposite approach. And their journey would be to work into being okay with that, maybe coming out of the shadow a little bit. And you might be a Leo rising. That's your projection into the world. That's your soul, esoteric, main destiny, if you will. Main working, what you're working on in your soul journey is often hinged with your rising sign. So if you're a rising Leo, it might be that you're working on becoming more out there, because one place where a Leo is just really comfortable is in front of a television camera or up on a stage. They just love the theater. They love talking. They love expressing themselves. They love acting. They love roaring, right? The lion in the jungle. Don't ever forget that the characteristics of these signs, as portrayed by their little gif, is so appropriate. Especially Leo just paints the picture. They want to roar. They're the lion. What do they not like? Being ignored. They don't like not being treated like King Lioness. They are the king of the jungle, and boy, they want you to know it too. These Leo characteristics are natural leaders. They can be very creative, highly self-confident. They radiate. When a Leo walks into the room, boy, the room just lights up. I mean, they command physical presence. In that sense, they are dominant. Back to the king of the jungle analogy, right? They usually are just engrossed with friends. They usually have a lot of friends and people that admire their shining and their brightness. They are creative. They can be assertive. Another thing a Leo can be is proud, arrogance. And that's one of their kind of their soul journey challenges, is to temper that arrogance, because humility can come a little bit difficult for a Leo. So some strengths, the creativity. They're humorous. They're funny. They're cheerful. They're warm-hearted. Some things that they can work on is that self-centeredness. They can also be stubborn. Who are good partners for Leos? Well, this is kind of a surprise. How about Sagittarius? Because they express their fire differently. Yes, there will be fire in the house. You can absolutely take that to the bank. But they express their fire in different ways. They are both very fun-loving. They love adventure. They live on the edge. Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, and Leo ruled by the sun. What does that sound like to you? To me, it sounds like a beach party. I mean, they love it. There you go. Another one that can work well, and, these are just throwdowns. I mean, any relationship, I think, in any sign can work, but I think there are definitely compatibility markers that we can look for. And the other one is the other fire sign, interestingly, because often Aries and Leo's fiery energy spark each other. Now, if we go into to an air sign, Gemini comes up as being fairly compatible with a Leo, because Geminis approach life with that same enthusiasm. They are, all about send me in, coach, I'm ready to play. And Mr. Lion or Miss Lioness, they appreciate that. What are some of the worst matches? Well, the opposite of the chart is Aquarius. And I don't say that that's necessarily one of the worst. Opposites definitely attract, but there can also be some pull there. So just realize you're dealing with the sign and the characteristics that are on the other side of the chart. Another one might be Capricorn. In fact, from a romantic perspective, a Capricorn and a Leo probably is about like a Scorpio and a Gemini, just something that should be set aside. Taurus might be another of these earth signs. And while we're thinking about it, this one's a little dicey, because Scorpios and Leos have a really quick mutual attraction, but it can unwind like a ball of twine. So it's kind of a longer play out. It's a fast fire that can flicker. So there you go. That's Leo season. And we are going to enjoy just the shining brightness that the sun has now commanded the chart and is in control. It is summertime. It's time to party. It's time to play. Here is to Leo season. Yes. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.